Hello friends, today I'm going to explain the threading concept. So thread is something that a part of the OS which is given to different programs. So to run it for the whole program, we have just one main thread. So we just starts from the main program. So this is called a thread. Thread is something that in OS we have thread scheduler. Depending on the priority of the thread, that scheduler schedules the each thread which gets the resources for the particular thread to run that particular program or the work to do. So now we'll see how we can manage the threads. So normally if we give thread equal to this thread new, so this is how we can, this is the whole picture of threading. So now I'll show you how to use threading in our programs. This is where we'll show first all the areas after completing it, then all the perimeters after completing it. So we'll just see it. So then first I am just creating two delegates, delegate 1 and delegate 2, that is area 1 and area 2. One returns int and another returns float values. So I'm just creating a thread start. Thread start is used to invoke a thread using thread class. So I'm just using thread start 1 equal to new thread start new program dot circle. So new program is my class name, so I'm just invoking circle. Then thread t1 equal to new thread, I'm just putting that thread start here, and t1 dot start. So when I use t1 dot start, it goes directly to my circle. So this is square, this is my circle program. So I'm using that synchronous program. So till this thing is completed, it won't go for any other, the thread won't go for any other thing. So I'm just using if I equal to 1. If I equal to 1, I'm just giving all the areas. If I equal to 2, I'm giving all the perimeters, sorry. I'm just float area, I'm just calculating the circle area. I'm just putting the sleep thread to 500. Then I'm calculating the area and just printing the area of that rectangle, I mean circle. The same, if I just explain how the area is used, you can the same thing I managed to put it for perimeters also. Then I'm using asynchronous delegate. So I'm just creating an object for the delegate. I'm saying, so this rectangle is the object for it. Rectangle is my another function. You can see it here. Yeah, rectangle is my another function here. So I'm just getting a rectangle. Then a3 equal to a3 dot. So this is asynchronous object I'm creating. Sorry, this I'm creating ar async result. This is asynchronous result. I'm just creating ar. This is called polling. This method is called polling. So a dot begin invoke null. I'll just explain about these two arguments later. These two arguments. So null. So I'm just waiting till it completes. I'm just waiting for the thread to complete it. Then I'm storing the result in a result, that int, because it returns int a dot and invoke ar. So I'm just ending that invoked thread. I'm starting that invoke, being the invoke. Then I have that next is a1 dot square. Next I'm going for square. Now I'll show the how to use async callback. So a1 dot begin invoke callback comma a1. Callback is my function, it's their down part. Then a1 is the so a dot begin invoke, this is my function, and these are the a1 is my parameter. Parameter is, I'm just sending the delegate object itself. So I'm just going to it. Yeah, this is my callback. Then I'm just getting that delegate object in async result. So I'm just checking if it is null, that async result is null. I'm just throwing an exception called argument null exception. Otherwise, because I'm just sending that delegate object, but I'm getting it in async result, so I need to change the state of it. So I'm just area equal to ar dot async state as area. So just changing that ar dot async will give the that delegate as which delegate you want to change area, because I have many delegates, I'm just changing it to area. Trace asset is to identify diets like debugging your own self. So for using this, I need to have another class called diagnostic class, and namespace diagnostic. Then in callback, then k equal to 0, I'm just printing as area. If k equal to, I'm just printing the perimeter of it. The same thing. Then if it is equal to null, I'm just doing these things. If it is not equal to null, I'm just asking to check which delegate have you passed. I'm just turning it area and perimeter. The same thing I have used it for the perimeters also. For circle I just used a thread start, and for rectangle I used a normal delegate. I'll just show for triangle. uh, yep. For triangle I just used uh, lambda expression. So I'm not using isync result, I'm just using uh, delegate object dot begin in work. As you have that two parameters, right? For first parameter I'm just using that for lambda expression dot, I'm just using that, and result invoke, I'm just storing the result here and just displaying that result. So the next parameter will be null. So this is how we can use the threading differently. So this is my threading. I need to include this threading class to play with threads. I'll just start it and show you that first all the areas are coming, next all the perimeters are coming at the same time. So this is how we can use threading differently. Thank you so much.